Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 6 of Short Story Bingo. My name is Nate Chacon III. Thank you guys so much for tapping into the last episode with Mousley. I'm going to make this quick. I sat down with my good friend Rhymetime, a.k.a. Scott, and we spoke about a lot of things, man. We spoke about his... him coming from California, his travel to Utah with his wife, his early roots in hip hop, battling thesaurus, and then also, you know what? Getting ahead of myself here. Short Story Bingo, episode 6, Our Stories with Rhymetime. My name is Nate Chacon III. We have so much to cover, and we'll see you guys at the end.
Short story bingo. Short story bingo. Short story bingo. Short story bingo. Sometimes they're funny and sometimes they're sad. Most of the time they're funny because I hate to be sad. Short story bingo. Short story bingo. Short story bingo. Short story bingo. But don't take my word for it. Spare fingers. Cheers.
No, it was from Twinkies. It's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. All right, here we go. 3, 2. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Short Story Bingo, episode 6 of the special edition of the podcast, Our Stories. My name is Nate Chacon III. If this is your first time, welcome. If it's not, then the retention program is working. What I do on this podcast is I either speak to my friends or speak to someone who I hope to be friends with at the end. And today, I am speaking with one of my very good friends, and very excited to get into a conversation. We were just talking off cam and just a lot of different stuff, and naturally, we come to the table and break bread. So I'm very excited for him to be on, Mr. Scott Knopf, a.k.a. Rhymetime.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me. This is good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said we're friends.
Yeah, hell yeah.
How's that sentence going to end? Like,
you just sit at the end, you're like, well, go ahead, fucker, fucking.
Today I've got an acquaintance.
And I hope to be friends at the end. Okay. Well, I didn't know that you were going to do that, so.
No pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I just watched the Pat Main episode. It was so good.
Oh, we were talking about that, yeah.
I mean, it was like he got started before I did, but not that long before. And so it was like, but all the stuff he was recounting, I was like, oh, this is the same timeline as me.
Yeah.
So it was cool. It was like, especially, so I watch all the hip hop docs, the stuff about the good life or the, I don't know. And it's cool, but it's got to be even cooler for the people who lived it. And that's how I felt watching the Pat Main episode. Was just like, oh, I was at that battle. Oh, I know exactly what he was talking about. And then obviously the whole birth of Mike Masters, like, yeah. Wow. Yeah. So cool.
Dude, well, first off, thank you for that. And I greatly appreciate it. I know that Pat would, people love to hear that. We, before we started speaking, Pat and I on the camera, we were definitely going back and forth about like what we were going to kind of touch on. And he didn't talk about that first piece that he ended up he didn't mention to me about the not knowing how we met off camera or whatever, And so when I first brought it up, that was a genuine reaction out of him. Like, dude, I knew you were going to fucking ask me.
And I have
shit.
no idea. Yeah, because it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that just makes that, that's pretty much the precipice of what this is. And then we'll, go from there. But I remember first hearing your name from Dog 'Em Out. Yeah. And that's honestly, as I scratch my archives, that's about where it ends for me. I mean, I know that I was potentially going to battle you on Dog 'Em Out I think on U92 potentially.
Oh, wow.
And then didn't. And then
I lost a lot of those battles. You could have had a victory over me.
You would have had a dub. So, but that's where I recall first even hearing about you. And at the time, of course, you were atheist.
Yep.
Is how you came. And then so You mentioned off camera that you definitely remember first meeting me.
I met the first time we talked was over the phone.
Okay.
And so I did Dog 'em Out, and then that led to doing battles at Barbary Coast with Dr. Nick and Jen, and I was battling all sorts of people there. I battled Sig there, I battled Dr. Nick, I battled Be Still, a lot of people. And then I started like hearing rumors that there's going to be like a written league. And I was a huge WRC fan, and like it's like World Rap Championship. It was like Thesaurus and Ilmac, like 2-on-2s, and like I was just such a huge like battle rap nerd at that point. So I was like, well, let's do it. And so I remember calling you, and I was so cocky. I remember I called you, and I was just like, and you were like, yeah, we'll put you in like a tryout. And I was like, no, I want a real battle. I want like at the event. I was like, this event, put me against somebody. And then you were like, all right, it's your funeral, basically.
I didn't say that though,
Not
did
that
I?
way, but you were just you were cool about it.
Okay.
You were much cooler than I was, humble. So it was like, I was like, tryout. I don't need a tryout. I've been battling forever, and let's do it.
Yeah.
And at that point, I had battled Thesaurus, and I had like lost miserably. I mean, it was so crazy. He wasn't famous yet, but he was. But we're both from Monterey.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
I think you told me this story.
Yeah, it was. I didn't know if I had told you. That would be a good one for the podcast. But yeah, so
I don't remember it.
At my junior college, there was just a random rap battle tournament. They had a live band play the beats, and you could just sign up and battle.
Dude.
And this was in Monterey, and I had never battled before. Maybe like a couple times at school, but like never against other people who could do it. And so they just randomly draw names of who you freestyle against. It was all freestyle. And it turns out they were like, this guy, Thesaurus is who you're battling. And I was like, doesn't matter to me. Like, so
fucking whatever, dude.
He destroyed me.
Yeah.
I had like one good line. I mean, this was 2002, 2003.
Oh, this motherfucker was like ramping up, dude.
Yes,
this,
he was.
This
like,
engine
this
was
like
fucking.
2 years later, he was like 2-time champion of everything. Like, but yeah, he lives in Monterey, came from Monterey, and so we battled. I had like one good line that I was gonna like 9/11 his house, which was like very current at the time.
Which was
now it's played out, but at the time it got a good reaction. And then he just like lit me on fire, and I was like just wide eyed as he was just like the homeless shelter's that away, and like just all these lines. And there's like a video of it online that Pat Main found once. Pat came up to me, was like, did you battle Thesaurus? And I was like, my secret shame. How did you find that fucking battle? Like, there's 6 views. And he's like, it's got 7 views now.
It's got
like, him and Dummy found it, and I was just like, I can't believe that video is out there.
I was gonna get 8 by the end of this. The point is, no, it's just
it was. But so you put me against a guy named Blazwick, who's friends with G Life, and those
Jeremy.
Guys. And first battle, and
where was it at?
It was at the old Up Rock.
Yep. Okay.
On 4th South, and we were the opening battle of the night, and it was you and Dummy hosting. And what I loved about that venue is it was so small.
Mm-hmm.
So people they were crammed in, which I think is like how it should be. Like you need to feel the energy of that crowd. It's easy to not like give a reaction if you're just like chilling in the back.
Yep.
So it's like when you watch that event battle, like it is wall to wall people. And then you can't even tell how far deep it goes. I mean, it's just a massive amount of people. And the crowd reactions were insane. I like walked out of that battle feeling so good about myself. I'll still go back and watch that battle.
No, you won't.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, because it's the best battle I had. I was just like, my jokes were on point.
You did well.
The crowd was so good. And I remember when we were doing them at Pickle Factory.
Oh, that was sick as fuck.
It was awesome. It was like, it was crazy. But again, it's the problem of a big room.
Yep.
You know, it's just like, no, when you cram into like somewhere that's almost like good, like, not meant to host an event.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're in a retail space like Up Rock, and you just squeezing in. It's exciting.
It's very so like, especially because like you can see in those videos. First off, I appreciate you sharing that and like having that ability to recant a bunch of that, because I don't recall I don't recall that conversation. So, but
it was
even
super
still,
short, and
even
we
still,
didn't meet in person till Up Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it sounds like an interaction that absolutely fucking was very regular, and because at the time, I didn't know who you were.
I can't imagine how many people have come up like, I'm going to be the next big battler, and then just shit the bed completely.
Yeah,
like,
well, it's been
the gatekeeper is not a fun role.
Yeah, so me suggesting, hey, let's get you a tryout battle was definitely not any disrespect.
For my benefit.
It was definitely no disrespect.
Because I remember the warm-up events.
Yeah.
And I was like, thank God this is at like a public park with 50
The tryouts
people.
were sick. Those were fucking fun.
But when they flop, they flop.
Oh,
if you're not good at this, it is painful to watch.
It is very painful.
You can see it in their eyes. Same look when the thesaurus was lighting my ass up. I was like, oh, this is not for me. Why did I come here? I could have stayed home.
Dude, I had that same look in the last warm up. I fucking went through my first round clean. I got through some of my second, and then blank. And it hasn't blanked out hard on me in fucking so long. Like since Emerson Kennedy.
Yeah.
And it hasn't blanked that hard at all ever since. Like on stages, like when I traveled to fucking Missouri for No Coast, when I went back, dude, I did great there. Like, and so but having said that, it was the 10th battle of the night, and I was hosting the entire night, but that's no excuse. The point is that like that
a blank is a blank,
dude. When he was going through his first round, and I'm sure you could relate to this. I know you can. Like I heard nothing, and I was just like, "What am I gonna do?"
Oh yeah.
I was like,
I blank mid battle. I think I'm doing great, and all of a sudden it's just there's some connector between lines.
Dude, you said connector, dude.
It's just not there.
You forget it. You're just like, oh my god, what tied that?
Yeah.
What's the next one?
Like it is blank. It's like someone just deleted the email. Like it is gone.
Oh my god.
What I like now is like you'll see guys just go take a line back and run it through again.
I tried.
It's
I fucking tried, man.
It is hard when the guy repeats the line like 3 times,
and you're like, okay,
that,
dude,
that
time,
gone.
Time.
For your benefit.
We're gonna call this one. We're gonna do that.
I blamed during my battle with Dre Day in the tournament. He had like said something and it distracted me, and then instead I didn't even think at that time, just run it through again.
Yeah.
And then he apologized after. It was like so nice. He was just like making a joke off of a joke I made, and it was funny and it was good. But you're just in the
Rattled
flow.
you.
And when you're not in the flow anymore, you're not in the flow. But it is painful.
Because it is painful because I started saying shit that I was like, I'm killing you. But I said in the fucking battle just recently, I was like, I was killing you. But I had to fucking like be conscientious and be like, I was fucking killing you, but that line was different. I said I am killing you.
Have you ever tripped yourself up by trying to like freestyle rebuttal?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did that against it was not Bobby B, it was his dad.
B-side.
And he said something, I tried to do that, and now all of a sudden, instead of starting my second round, I've wasted the first 10 seconds with a shitty joke, and now I immediately just start, where am I? I'm pulling stuff I'm pulling my closer of my third round. Dude. My big closer is now coming at the beginning of my second round.
I love we're having this conversation.
There's a line in that B-side battle, there's a part where I've pulled something to an earlier round, I come to the place where it was supposed to be originally. So I just say it again. And someone from the crowd goes, "You said that already."
Oh.
That's right. I did. And
Dude,
I mean it.
And I mean it. Dude, I did that in the third round. I was like, I said it already, but I'm going to still go. Dude. Because that's what happened. So what happened in the first round is the reason why I had a clean round is because I went through mid first round and I pulled from my second, end of my second, and I went to then I was like, I'm not hearing him.
No.
So I'm just like, okay, fuck, it's you got 2 minutes.
Yep.
Clock's on.
Can't go to your phone.
What's the middle of the first?
Yep.
Because you can still start it there. Okay, so you're gonna talk about a hat, but the only way that you can talk about a hat is because of how the first ends. And dude, I was fucking, bro.
I've been there.
I was
It's the
dying on an
worst.
island by myself, dude.
It's almost worse when the connector connects to the wrong thing than connect to nothing.
Right.
Because
Oh, yeah.
right. If it connects to nothing, you go, all right, I lost this round. I'll get you 2 out of 3.
Oh
But when
my
it connects to
God.
something else, now you're cannibalizing.
I can't wait for you to see my
battle.
video. I can't wait for you to see my. It's gonna be so funny because I say that I'm like, you got the second.
It's good to admit
You got the second. You got the second. I'll be back. You got the second. Because I was like, okay, well, at least the first part of my third, dude, and I was already up the fucking creek,
and
dude.
you can have it down.
Yeah,
you can have it down for a month,
bro. I fucking took. I'm admittedly, I maybe should have took 15 minutes to really like be by myself, but it took 5 minutes, whatever.
Yeah,
and I ran through all 3, like fucking simple in the corner,
right?
And I was like, yeah.
I got it.
We're good to go.
Of course I got it.
I should have. I went first again, and as soon as I said I was gonna go first, they flipped the coin, and I can't wait for the video to drop because you're gonna everything that I'm talking about would be more narrated that way. But the point is, flipped it. I won, and I definitely have like 3 seconds of being like, you should go second.
Mm-hmm. You need those 2 minutes.
Yeah, you need to. You should go second to like. Because you've never battled this cat before for sure, for real, and he can battle well. Yeah. So like let him set the tone.
Yeah, right.
You know, and because your third is good. So, but I was like, fuck it, I want to punch him. Right. I want to punch him in the face.
I've done the same thing.
And so I went first.
Yeah, you just
and I got through my first round good.
Right.
But I was pulling.
It's hard when you choose to go first because you're giving them the last word.
Yep.
Do you remember? I think this was Mike Masters. This was at some, where I would battle Hemis. Hemis and I always talk about this battle. I think it was maybe at Pickle Factory or what was their sister club? Salt House?
Salt House, yeah.
I think it was at Salt House.
Salt House. Yeah.
And I battled Hemis and I went first. And I went first on purpose because I knew what my end was. The end of my third was, I know I won this battle. I don't even need to hear what you say. I'm getting in my car and I'm going home. And I did. I got in my car and I drove home.
You dickhead.
I was like, fuck your third round.
Whoa.
Fuck your third round. I don't need to hear it. I know I won. I'm out. Well, the crowd, I guess, did not like it. Thought I was mad for real. I start getting all of these like texts going like, what happened? Did he make you mad? Like, what did he say? Like, why are you so pissed? And I was like, that was the joke. No, that was the most genius thing I've ever done.
It's the bit.
It's the bit. It's
the bit.
You're not understanding. Do I turn around? Do I go back? Do I explain? Oh, yeah. And so they gave it to Hemis, and luckily, thank God, that battle never dropped. Somebody lost the footage, and thank God. But it was... he always is just like, he's like, I beat you on U92. I beat you in Mike Masters. And I was like, yeah, he's right.
He is right.
He's right.
Okay.
I took a risk. I had never seen someone do that before. Just leave.
That is wild.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, that is wild.
I was like, what's the most disrespectful thing I can do to him? I can just leave.
I could just leave.
I was in my car.
I could
driving,
just leave, is what he said.
So happy. I'm driving home, just like, you're the fucking man.
Yeah,
that
dude.
is genius. And then like,
you were the
all
shit.
Of a sudden, boop, 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 boop.
And then you weren't the shit.
Then I was just shit. And
then I was just shit. That is so funny.
It's like stuff you don't. If you're just a fan, like you don't get it. Like,
yeah,
it's not on that level.
No,
like,
well.
There's just a feeling to doing the battles and the stress that comes with it, and like it's not fun. It's not a fun hobby.
It's arduous.
It's even when I'm winning, even when it's going really well.
Yeah,
it's stressful.
When you win, though, it is tight.
Oh, it's the best. It's awesome.
It is tight.
It. But it's like like an MMA fight. Like it's not fun. You're getting punched in the face. If you win, you're like, I'm the man. But
I haven't seen many losers in an MMA fight be like, yeah, dude, this was tight.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah, it's a low percentage, I would venture to guess. They're like, oh yeah, dude, fuck it.
Yeah,
no.
Like
this last one for me, even particularly, I couldn't go to sleep because I didn't get everything out.
Right.
So it was still stuck in my head. And I was like, this is the fucking worst because I had so much for you.
Yes. and it's for you.
Yeah.
I can't.
There's like
use this
four.
against
There's like
somebody
probably
else.
a couple things that I can maybe finagle, but
man.
But even still, the point it still stands to remain that it did suck because when I battled in the first one, the first warm up, I won and I did well, and I had a rebuttal in that. Like I felt very calm, comfortable, collected, cool, but. Again, that was only the 6th battle of the night, and we only had one more after that. So, 10 battles, bro, that was fucking wild.
That's a lot of battles.
That was wild. And especially the one that was
the
before us.
crowd exhausted? Like, by the time you get to the main event, how did they feel? Did they come late, or were they tired by the end, or was it... I mean, the battles aren't that long either. So you can
Except for the one that went before me, Lotta Zay and Mike Bailey, they went. They had 3-minute rounds apiece. There was like 3.5, 4-minute rounds. So 4, 8, 12, 8, 16, 24, almost a 30-minute battle. You know, I was like,
that is a lot.
Yo, that is wild to me. But even still, that is so funny to like talk about like pulling from other rounds. Someone who else understands. I was talking to Marv about it on the drive home, and he's like, "Bro, I've been there." He's like, "Doug, I was on fucking Total Slaughter. I was fucking national television. I fucking blanked."
Do you remember,
national television.
I'm sure you remember DNA when he did the Eminem Red Bull thing and then just like shit the bed. Like one of the
I don't remember.
Oh, you should Google it. It's on YouTube. It was some Red Bull rap challenge thing that like Eminem was judging. I mean, it was the biggest spotlight DNA's ever had. And then he like goes into like some weird corny 8 Mile shit. Like everybody from the 3-1 and it was so bad. And you're like, you're the best. Like
freestyle.
You freestyle.
Even at freestyling, like, you're so good. You're amazing.
If you wrote that, you get rid of it. Just freestyle. Like whatever you wrote is wrong. I've never seen someone botch like a big opportunity that big. It was so bad. You should go. I'll send you the link.
Would you liken because you've done some stand up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, would you liken battling to stand up in that like when you bomb it's the worst? I don't know if you've bombed yet or whatever.
Oh, everybody's bombed. Yeah.
I'm just saying, yeah.
Stand up to me, because I had done battling first, was so easy. You're only on offense. Like I got up, and because I'd rapped and done shows and like huge, crowds and stuff. So like I get up on stage, I think, with rapper confidence.
Yeah.
And it started going good for me way earlier than someone who hasn't that. And Ill Winded P just did his first open mic, and I just sent him a message saying like rapper confidence. Like listen to every big comedian, even if they say something that's like inherently not true. If you say it with enough confidence, people will laugh.
Right.
But you get up there and you see so many people just like really timid and mumble their jokes and they don't have any confidence. I was like, scream the jokes. Like if you need to, just like whatever, like bring that rapper confidence out. One time I literally was like, I did like call and response with the crowd.
Okay.
Yeah. And they were like, okay, like that's fine.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Fucking...
Like I was like, make some noise. Like, make some more. And just exactly the same response. I was like, okay, moving on. Like,
okay, well,
right.
So not a lot then.
Yeah.
All right.
But I think that confidence like translates. Like, I feel like like when we did this show for Snoop Dogg, it was just like it was so many people, and after you do that, like no open mic like 30-person crowd is like going to be that scary. It's scary in that it's different.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it just went well for me. I also, like, a lot of my rapping and stuff, like, I've basically been doing stand-up on stage at the rap shows. Like, in between songs, I crowd work and do all sorts of stuff. It's so natural to me now, but it's...
I love that you say that. For several reasons, because they, like, even, like, hosting that whole event, like, it's all standing on top of my feet, making people laugh, making people feel comfortable, saying a joke or two.
Yep.
Or just being funny with your delivery.
Yeah.
Not even saying a punchline, having a punchline, just like, oh, so that was weird, huh?
You're right.
You know, like,
yeah. Read the room.
Yeah.
Just like throw stuff out. And yes, I just hosted Slap Lake City's 3-year anniversary show.
Yeah, that sounds, it looks great.
And it was really fun. It was amazing lineup. A lot of great guys on there. People I discovered, like I didn't know them. And so I'm just like, oh, who are these people? But I'm the host. So like between every act, there's like 20 acts. I have to get up and like make them laugh and then like bring in the next person and like do all the research of like who is coming up, and like I was plugging projects they had and try to really like go above and beyond for it.
Yeah.
And it was really fun. But it felt more like a stand-up show than like a rap performance.
Do you still do, well, I'm sure you knocked it out of the fucking park. Do you do Do you still have you done an open mic in a while?
I haven't done it since COVID.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a weird thing where like when I was
it just to
Yeah.
you go ahead and explain.
it was when I was rapping, it took so much time and effort and energy that it like ran my life. And so
Rapping or doing comedy?
rap.
Okay, excuse me.
So
Okay.
coming up in music and like first the battles, but then like music, like House of Lewis, like we worked our asses off for so long to get what we got. And, you know, it's like I've been married for a long time now. And my wife has gone through numerous periods where it's like, you're never home. Like, how are you doing 4 shows this week? How are you like, it's like you're on tour, but you're not on tour and you're not getting paid either. I was like, no, I'm losing money on this show.
And I know you love to hear that.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
Shout
So-
out to your wife.
So she's not watching this.
That's funny because we did bring her. So
Come on in.
come on in.
Yeah, so I knew when I started to do comedy, it was the exact same thing. I was like, to get to the level that I want to do it, I know I can do it, but I also know how much time and effort it's going to take. And you're going to open mics all over the city 5 nights a week, and you're networking just like you've done with rap and I've done with rap, and I just was like, I don't know if I have it in me to do this again.
Start a new venture. That's just like the same.
That
Not the
takes
same.
that much time.
Energy and time. Excuse me.
That takes that much time. Like,
totally different thing.
Because I moved here, I didn't know anybody. U92 only happened because I saw a YouTube video of like a battle, and it was like, if you want to try battling, just go. And I was like,
Dude, was I on it with Spizofrenic? Because I think I know the video you might be
maybe it
referring
might
to.
have been. I don't know who the first I just saw one video, and then the next week I was on the radio battling Hemis or somebody else.
What year was that?
Jeez, that was probably 2011.
Really?
2010, 2011. Yeah.
It might have been, dude. It might not have been, but
I feel like it is, because why would I know the name Spizofrenic? Like,
I don't know, but we battled
but I
on there
know
for
that
sure.
name.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it must have been from the I was watching every battle I could see. So
Was
I
it a video
guarantee
that was taken like outside
Mm-mm.
and like a hybrid inside and outside too? It doesn't matter.
I think it was just a video of like in that studio with
Yeah.
Booker and
yeah.
it was a long time ago. It was like just hit the 10-year anniversary of my first album, which was cool.
Congratulations.
It was cool. And then thanks for the
Thanks
burgers.
for the burgers. Yep.
And then, but I had been battling for at least a year before that, and it was at the biker bar. It was at Barbary Coast, and I was winning all these battles, and it was cool because they paid you if you won, and people were like asking how, like, where's your music? Can I get your music? You're funny. You should make music. And I didn't know how. I didn't know anybody who made music. I didn't know anything. So I went to one of those like beat battles, those producer battles.
Okay.
And that's where I saw Wes Thompson, and I was like,
Oh
you're
yeah,
my guy. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's
And that's what we did. Thanks for the burgers, and Fish Loops were there. All the like big guys were there. So
Did Wes produce most of that album?
that first album, he did it all.
Shut the fuck
Oh no,
up.
Fish Loops did a few. But Wes did almost everything, and he did all the recording. He like taught me how to perform on the mic. He sang on it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I want to. That was incredible. That ride of going through so much.
insane.
I want to go back to my impression.
Yeah.
After the Bloswick battle.
Oh yeah.
And
You're like, this guy's gonna get a little bit worse with every battle.
yeah, I was like,
I'm calling it
I'm
now.
never gonna fucking.
You're like, he just peaked.
I deleted his. We'll never release the. No, I remember. I absolutely remember like after that event and being like, dude, the guy that fucking Bloswick went against, like, he's definitely really good. And being
awesome.
like when I went home and we were starting to take a look at the footage, I was like, I want to fucking get this guy fucking moving some more. Like he's
and no one knew me at that time.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm no one.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm
Dr.
part of
Nick and Jendo that
at the
they
Barbary
were-
Coast.
They would host like a monthly.
Dude, did we meet each other at the Barbary Coast? Then
We
too?
might have. We
like
might
in
have, but I
freestyles and shit.
maybe, but we never
Maybe.
battled.
Okay.
And I know that I know when someone said, "Call Nate if you want to do Mike Masters," I was like, "Oh, I've never talked to him before." So we might have been in the same thing, but we'd never like had a conversation because I
Yeah.
called and like I remember having to introduce myself and say like
Yeah.
done all this stuff.
Well, the point that I want to get at is just that, like, from a early. Oh, there's another one right behind you. But from just my interaction with you, I was like, dude, this guy, he's definitely going to be the shit. And then you released Thanks for the Burgers, and I was like, what the fuck? This guy makes music too, man. And then to see like what could only be super fucking cheesy, but like this meteoric rise, I guess.
Rise to local celebrity.
I mean, well, for real though, but
Yeah.
like for real, like just like this guy like took all of his talents and maximized his networking opportunities. Super from optically from the third person perspective, like very easy to work with. So that's fucking huge.
Show up on time.
Say
Thank you. Yeah.
And
It's all the stuff I learned in pro wrestling school, if I'm being honest.
oh yeah,
Like they taught me, like when you go into a locker room, you shake everybody's hand, you get everybody's name, like you don't be an asshole, you just make things. That was a big lesson for pro wrestling school, was make everyone else's job easier. Like don't make anyone's job harder.
yeah.
So like always just go and offer to like help move stuff. Offer to like, you're not too good to do anything. So it's like if I see you like unloading a speaker out to get the battle ready, I'm gonna go grab it. And
Wow.
that's where that came from.
Mine came from incredible trauma from my childhood and my dad telling me, grab the fucking dude. So that's where mine came from. But I could see the correlation. We got to the same goal, just
Right.
different way of being taught it.
Totally.
But no, it just spoke to that. So like, and ever since, like when you were hitting me up about like, oh, I want to fucking battle Cadillac, and like, you're like, yeah, no, I'll fucking, you got it. You understood that like,
yeah.
these opportunities, these looks, you
Yep.
you got to invest in yourself in.
And it's all hard. It's all like getting up and out of the house to do something is hard. And then I had to get up and get out of the house just like you 1,000 times.
Yep.
You know, and I think we got I think there was a lot of luck to it. I think there was a lot of just being social and being nice and not being an asshole, and then having like a specific type of music that nobody else was making, which was like not nerdcore, but it was funny, and we just put a lot of effort into the stage show. And when I hooked up with House of Lewis, I think that's what changed like a ton, because now I had like an army with me. And when I joined the group, I took them, and they'll all say it. I took them and I was like, you're coming with me. And the stuff I was already doing, they weren't booking like the big shows for, touring openers. And I just said, I met all these people. Thanks for the Burgers is filled with features because I didn't know a soul. And I was like, this album is how I'm going to like meet everybody. It's so funny. I was so focused on like being accepted in like the Utah hip hop scene, like that it wasn't a focus of me of like how to get famous. I was just so worried I was going to come into this scene and people were going to be like, who are you? You don't belong here. It felt like really cliquey. And I was like, how do I like get in there? So I was just like, hey, get on my album. Hey, get on my album. Hey, get on. I said, do you remember a rapper named, I think it was Young Sim?
Yeah.
Teach Me How to Jimmer.
Yeah.
That guy. So I have a song.
I got a track with him.
That's right, you do.
Yeah,
you do.
we did a
In
video.
In fact, you might have been the one to give me his contact info. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But anyway, I have a song
What
on...
up, Young Sim?
Young Sam. No offense. I sent him a song called Sleazy.
Okay.
And it's all just comedy bars about just like the grossest, sleaziest like stuff. And I sent it to him and he was just like, kind of like, is this a joke? Like, I'm a clean rapper. Why did you send me the filthiest thing I've ever heard? And I don't know. I don't know your music yet. I don't know anybody. Someone just told me you're a rapper, so I want to get you on a song. And but it's how I met Negro Damas. It's how I met Q1. It's like all these guys were just on the album.
So when you came out here, I guess I want to know from an outsider's perspective how daunting. I know what it's like to go to a new city, but when I went to Laramie, Wyoming, and like hung out there, but Laramie was tiny, so
Right.
like they don't have like hip hop nights. They have karaoke nights,
Right.
or whatever. So like it wasn't really feeding my hip hop soul. So I have to imagine when you came out here to Utah, I just want to walk me through what that experience was like, like you're out here, like how the fuck am I gonna
here from San Francisco, and
because that's what you're originally from that area,
that whole area from Monterey up to San Francisco, the whole Bay, and I wasn't making music in San Francisco, but I was going to shows a couple nights a week. I mean, it's all I did. I went to school and I went to shows, and it was like
local joints, not like big shows.
It was like Zion I, Black Alicious, Hieroglyphics, Crown City Rockers, like Lyrics Born. So it was those guys, and it was like in their prime. I just happened to be out there. My first hip hop show ever, second hip hop show ever was Zion I. And they did a show in Monterey. Wow. And he was like, I just hung out with Zumbi afterwards, and he was like, hey, you should come. I'm doing a show in Santa Cruz next week. You should come. And I just came through, and Crown City Rockers opened for them. And now I've done a song with Rashawn Ahmad. I've done a song with Zumbi. I've done, and I just like, I was just in that scene as a super fan, not making music. So when I moved out here, it was like, okay, where's the hip hop shows? And there were a couple. Zion I would come through, or somebody I'd Nappy Roots or somebody. And so, but seriously, like I was moved here. I didn't know anybody. My wife was in a PhD program at the U. Mm-hmm. And so I was literally just like bored and just like, what do I even do? And if it wasn't for that, U92 Come Battle, and that snowballed everything. Wow. If I hadn't seen that video, which might have been your battle, I may not have done any of this.
That's wild.
I would have done something. I don't know what I would have done, but like, I certainly didn't have any thoughts of like, you should be a rapper.
Yeah.
And then it's like, because I was like, I'm going to go do this scary thing. It's all snow, but now I'm on America's Got Talent. Like,
fucking crazy. America's Got Talent.
America's Got Talent. Briefly.
Are you shitting me right now? Which is incredible. I want to tap into something right now.
Yeah.
When you were between the ages of 10 to 18,
mm-hmm.
Did you ever think about rapping?
It's all I listened to. So
did you ever think about rapping?
I wrote one rap when I was maybe 13, 14.
How old were you when you came out here?
I was 24.
Okay, I'm just trying to tap into your soul right now. So you're 24 when you came out here.
Yeah, we had 3 radio stations growing up, and one was country music, one was all music in Spanish, and one was hip hop. And my dad liked country. I didn't speak Spanish, so I went hip hop.
Yeah.
And it was like Slick Rick and on.
Okay, give me a second.
Yeah.
So, okay. Before you came here, you said that you were going to all these shows and shit.
Tons,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. At any point before you came here, did you have a span of time where you were like, it would be cool to make a song?
No, because I didn't know anybody doing it. You know what I did do, actually, that I hadn't thought about this in a while, is I went to a Honda put on a music festival in San Francisco, and it was Black Eyed Peas were headlining, and Black Alicious was right under them. And earlier in the day, a DJ was like, yo, does anybody want to get up and freestyle? And I was like, I had never done it. And I was like, I'll do it. And so I got on stage and I freestyled, and the DJ, I'll be honest, I killed it. I was like name dropping the bands that were playing that day, and name dropping Honda, name dropping the DJ. Somehow I pulled it off, and he reaches in his pocket, just hands me $20 out of his wallet, and was like, you fucking killed that. And then here's a pair of shoes from our sponsor, Royal Elastics. And like, I bought Royal Elastics for like the next 10 years. Like, and I was like, that's amazing. Still never like, I should make songs. Like,
but did that experience, trigger like, I can't wait to get back on stage again even?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So you're proof. Okay.
Yes.
So I just read this book and I highly recommend it. It's probably going to be for like the next 3 podcasts because I want to re-listen to it again. But there's this channel on YouTube called Master Key Society. I highly, highly recommend it. Short story being, I fucking love reading. So having a good audiobook around at any drop of a hat is fucking amazing. Anyway, the point is the name of the book is called The Game of Life and How to Play It. And it's by Florence. Oh my God. I don't remember the last name, but Florent, just the game of life and how to play it.
Okay.
It's a quick 2-hour, 20-minute read.
Oh, awesome.
Listen, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like 80 pages. It taps into the energies that you're putting out into the world, and it's very simple philosophy that everyone knows. It's almost it's like the secret minus all the magic.
Perfect.
So
that's right up my alley.
It's very rational and just like, well, and so the reason why I asked about that is because none of this shit happened by accident.
Totally.
So
that's true.
So I think. So that's why I wanted to tap in. Like, what was it that sparked that subconscious thought of like, I want to get back on stage. I want to make music, something, whatever the fuck it was. And if that is, if you can remember going up and being like, dude, I fucking think I could do that again.
It was comedy. I was doing stand up at like local open mics at coffee shops and stuff.
So you've done fucking stand up for, okay.
I mean, not consistently, but that was my first like, oh, I can do that.
Yeah.
I never knew anyone. My high school was so small. It was 50 kids in my graduating class, like tiny, in the middle of 4 lettuce fields on every side. We were in the middle of nowhere and way out in the country. So I didn't know a single person who like rapped. Made beats, and like it was early, you know, it was like the late 90s, early 2000s, so like internet wasn't even what it should be. So I was just like, all I did was listen to hip hop and buy hip hop and loved it, but it just seemed like, oh, and I could go to space too. Like it seemed like watching a sci-fi movie. Like I don't know how to do that. And so when I came to Utah and people literally were like, we want your music. I was like, I guess I got to figure this out. And I started meeting like Dr. Nick and guys who had done it. And I was like, how do you do it? And they were like, just talk to Wes, idiot. Like it's easy. Like
it's way easier.
You get a beat and you rap on it.
Yeah.
And then they mix it and I go, wow,
okay.
Oh, crazy. But
that is wild.
Yeah.
I'm going to go take a shit. I'll be right back. Okay. That is fucking crazy. And do you want me to tell you something fucking wild? Yeah. So like, after reading that book, I started to fucking rummage through my archives of my brain. And like, what got me into fucking wanting to be a performer? There's several things. One was I was an altar server growing up. So like I was always like performing to some degree, you know? But I never thought about it as theater, you know? It was always just like I was when I started doing reading the Eucharist or reading the first reading and second reading in front of the crowd, I was like, this seems pretty fucking cool, you know? Like, so I was getting used to that. Cool. Go to like when I was like 12 or even younger than that, like 8, 7 years old, some shit like that. Memorizing Regulators by Warren G. And going through my, we had a Cobra Truckers walkie-talkie set that we got.
Just treat it like a mic.
Dude, and so we gave it to the foster kid in the other house over. So they were trucker fucking joints.
Yeah,
so like they were fucking like the frequency was cool.
Strong. Yeah.
Yeah. So like we would rap. And this was at a very young age. I would write regular shit. I always have enjoyed writing. Yeah. It's always been fun to me to story tell. It's just always been fun. It's always been fun. It's genuinely never been frictionless, or it has not contained friction. Excuse me.
Totally.
I've enjoyed it. Anyway, okay. And then fast forward to like when I was 13 and I learned Rapper's Delight back to front. And I was determined to learn it through the summer. I was like,
it's a long song.
Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna just keep listening to it, and I would perform it. And little did I know that my subconscious was like, this is something that if you continue to do this, we're just gonna put you in those places. The universe has no sense of humor. The universe doesn't give a fuck. It doesn't matter. It's off of what you're doing. Like if you think it's funny to say things like, oh well, I feel like I'm rich but I'm really poor. The universe doesn't give a fuck. It hears what you're saying. Right. That energy that you're putting out, and it will give you that.
And we've seen it over and over and over, like on both ways. People talk themselves out of success.
100%.
People talk themselves into it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to tap into that, because as I started going through my own annals, I was like, damn, dude, like, what really got me into it, and then I thought about going to fucking house parties, and like I was beatboxing, and I always wanted to freestyle because everyone else was freestyling. That's how you got ladies. It was just another avenue to get ladies, you know?
Right.
And so,
stand-up comedy, I think.
Yeah, but for real, you know? And then I was sitting on my friend's fucking couch, and the Big Pimpin' video came on, and I was like, I just said it out loud. I was like, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to fucking do that. And I still had not wrote one rap yet, nothing, you know?
That's awesome.
And so I think about stuff like that now after that book. I strongly recommend it. I strongly recommend it. It's fucking...
I'm going to read it.
For real, life-changing. It's great. So I wanted to tap into that, so thank you for letting me...
Yeah. Do you consider yourself, like, do you feel naturally like you are a doer? Like, have you always been somebody, like, you do things... It doesn't have to be the same thing, but like I feel there's a lot of people who like are dreamers and they talk about doing stuff a lot, but then they don't.
I'm industrious.
There are people who do it. Yeah,
I'm industrious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You are. That is a perfect descriptor.
Yeah, I'm industrious. Yeah, mm-hmm. My dad's industrious.
Okay,
so that's where I get it from.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I get it from him. I just watched his actions. He was always in shit. He was always doing something. He still is to this day. He's 69 years old, and he's a volunteer for this and like always having events to go to. And so naturally, that's just I really take. Oh man, that just made me real emotional.
I'm so curious what this is.
I really take a lot of pride in serving, and so
I mean,
wow, I can't believe it fucking.
But that sounds like
hit me like that. Woo! Yeah,
if you're doing stuff with.
That is so funny, you dumb dick. All right, so. Holy shit! What the fuck?
But yeah, to come up with like foster kids and move on like.
Oh no,
doing it forever.
Yeah, so I take a lot of. I just enjoy doing it. It's fucking fun to watch. Like Mike Masters is fucking so fun to watch people fucking grow, progress, and
so hard to do. Like you couldn't pay me to do the amount of work you've had to do for Mike Masters. People don't realize.
No.
People. Oh, you rent a venue. Well, first of all, renting a venue.
Oh,
not that easy.
Yeah.
Like trying to get a bunch of like young people to show up at the same time and do something they agreed to do is hard enough.
Yeah.
And like, for me, it's like House of Lewis. Like I got to get the other 4 guys on page. You're dealing with 20 people.
That was wild.
The next month, 20 different people. Mm-hmm. And these are not always the best people.
Yeah.
These are kids who are, have no business making any sort of time commitments. They're not going to show up. They're not going to have written their shit before. They're going to, it's.
So that's what. So to answer your question, I enjoy it. It's just part of my fabric. It's just of my being. Like, I take genuine joy in it. So like when people like you just even saying that, like it's probably harder. Yeah, it is difficult. But like once I start seeing breaks happen, like I've got this tentative. I got these soft confirmations. Excuse me, Jesus. I am sorry about that.
He's sorry.
I got these soft confirmations for this really big battle in March.
Oh.
And I'm very excited for all intent, I got hard confirmations, but like I got to wait till the venue. But like to get to that point, I was like, cool. That target was reached. Next target. So I managed to like, and I don't even know if this is like probably whatever, the way that I'm doing it right now, and it's just been more advantageous and optimal to the process is just to tackle one thing at a time rather than be like, because I've done this before in the past. It's like, oh, I got to have everything done by this date. It's cool, man. Just take it easy. Calm down. Hey, knock this out first. Boom. Knock that out. Boom. Everything's going to take care of itself.
Management.
Everything's going to take care of itself. That's exactly what I just described.
Life. Yeah.
That's exactly. Yeah.
That's my job. That's what I do all day is just, Which
and I learned that
helps. Like having that, not everybody has that skill set. And when you can come in and just make a spreadsheet and make a to-do list and start knocking stuff off and handing things out to other people, shit gets done.
Right.
But if you come in and you just go, man, I really wish I could do this. Like someone should do this.
Yeah.
And you don't have the skill set to do it. No, it's never going to get done.
Or even the drive, man. There's you know, you
Yeah.
know, at this point, you know, people that have been like very talented, and you're like, oh, you should just fucking make a song.
I was talking to one of them today. Someone that like put out
how frustrating
an
is it to be like
8 years ago, and I was like, I still listen to it. It's still you could have done so many more songs that I would listen to.
You still can.
You still can. Yes, exactly.
You know how long we don't have on this earth already?
Dude, totally. Yes, it sneaks up on you, and so you just gotta do it.
Who gives a fuck?
Or don't.
Or don't.
Die anyway. I don't know.
Dude, or don't.
I guess I don't care if you do it or not, but I
don't care. I don't give a fuck. I swear to God when I say that, I don't fucking care. But
I do get sick of hearing people talk about it.
Yeah.
When I'm like, you could just do it.
Right.
Just do it. It's easy.
Yeah.
Like, or it's not easy. It's hard, but it's worth it.
It's gonna be dope as shit at the
yeah.
end. Even if it takes you 6 months, I bet you it's gonna be the most fucking fulfilling 6 months that you've ever had for a while, or at least in the last fucking year.
Right. If you want to put out an album, do it.
Yeah.
And maybe it'll be shitty, but you did it. You'll always have it. Everything I do is for like, I'm trying to like avoid deathbed regret.
Yeah.
So like when I'm on my deathbed and I'm like, did I do everything?
Dude, we align so much.
And at this point, I'm like, yes, I did.
Yeah.
Like I've done so much that I'm like, oh, if I, like don't do anything else, I've done enough where I'm like, okay, like I got the career in place. I got married, bought a house. My hobbies are awesome. I've been on TV. Like everything's cream on top at this point, which is like amazing. Yeah, it's really good. But it's
we align so much on that because I think about like 70-year-old me looking down at me like right now and being like, dude, right now how things are going, I'm in a fucking 1-bedroom apartment. So like you're gonna have to figure some shit out for us to get back into that fucking house that you had me in 2 years ago.
Right.
You know? But ultimately the point is like just that self projection of like me looking at me from an older time frame and being like, just do it, or just or don't. That's probably about. Or hey, dude, take it easy. Do it. I like my fingers, bro. Right. It turns it. What's that? It's like Back to the Future, you know, and you're like, oh no, dude. Oh shit, my hands are going away. Quit playing with that fucking saw machine. Why? What? Because my fucking hand's going right now.
Right.
That can't mean. But so
but we align. To bring people with you too, though.
Of course, that's what I'm talking about. The service with others, like
it's just
huge.
Yes. So it's like House of Blues.
And
obviously.
I take zero fucking like. I just want to see them win. So like,
yeah,
you already
are extremely humble.
Already, people are winning, dog. Like fucking, 3 battlers. Mike Bailey, Easton Clark.
Say Mike, like
they're going up to Idaho to fucking go back. Dude, just go.
You did it. Yep, you did it.
Go.
Yep, that's awesome. Like
I love it so much. Makes me so happy.
Watching the old battles, like I'll have a punchline and then like Caustic is in the crowd laughing. Dirtbag Dan is hosting and laughing, and I'm just like, holy shit, man. I was doing nothing. I was working at a bakery, and I just was like, I want to try rapping. And now these guys that I had watched for years, battling Cadillac, obviously.
Yeah.
Like
rest in peace.
Rest in peace. It's that battle's crazy to watch. I don't really watch that battle.
I'll be honest with you. I don't watch that battle.
Tough. Yeah. At least you aren't the one telling him he's gonna die. Like
oh my God.
I watch it and I'm just like, I mean, the writing was on the wall. But you didn't have to say it, and you didn't have to be so mean about it. But it was. But also, what was cool about Cadillac was he was just so cool. He knew.
Oh, dude,
he knew. Like nothing was a surprise to him. He had more lines about it than I did.
Yeah,
and he was just like. Another just humble guy. All those guys we mentioned.
Best, bro. The fucking best. He was so good. He sent out a tweet before one of the events that he came out to, and he's like, Synchronize really out here like the Don King of Salt Lake or something. Tweeted that. Yeah, and I was like, dude, what the fuck?
He was generous with his time. He was it's really funny that like battling is just like so hate fueled, and like when you're on stage you're battling and it's just so crazy. And everyone is so cool off stage.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like
I said the same thing.
Hateful things to people. And
It's wild.
So nice.
It's wild to have a community where like the main focus or the intent of the art form is belittling, but then there's a community outside of that. You know, it's just like it's just an interesting dynamic. And to speak to Cadillac Ron, like one of the last things, December 13th, 2013 was the last show that I threw before October, but I remember going outside and it was snowing. It was lightly snowing, and he
was that the night I battled him?
Yeah, the night you battled him.
Yeah.
And I was just like burnt out, and I wear my emotions on my sleeve, and he just put his arm around me. He's like, "Hey, you good?" Just very fast, and I was like, "Yeah." No, he's like, "You don't look good." And I was like, I'm good, man. I'm good. Yeah. Fuck. Are you having a good time? He's like, yeah, I'm fucking having fun. He's like, do you ever just think about what you got here? And I was like, what does that, what do you mean? And it was just he's like, you got a lot.
Yeah.
It's all good, man. And that was it. It was like the very small, tiny interaction. He's like, let's go back inside.
I think we're really lucky to have like a leader that isn't doing this to like prop himself up. Like I think like with the Mike Master stuff, we got very lucky that it wasn't like the Nate show. It's like I'm only doing this work so I can be the top tier battler. I like when you were like, "Do you want to battle Cadillac Ron?" And I was like, "You don't like? How is it coming to me?" Like, yeah, thank you for the opportunity. Like, incredible. Like, it was just it's I think we're very lucky because I think we've seen other battle leagues for sure and all sorts of organizations like really die on the vine because people aren't selfless enough. And
that's an interesting point. I can't even fucking wrap my head around that. Yeah. So I don't even know.
It'd be real easy for you to make the wrong decisions if you were just looking out for you.
Yeah, but I'm not.
You're not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why we've got
I just
like
want to put on
legends
cool shit.
Flying out to Utah and battling our guys. And like, it's such a good
It makes
look
the most sense.
To you and me.
Yeah.
But I think we can think of some other leagues where it
You're
didn't
right.
go that way.
to you and me. Yeah, to you and I.
It's but I
see
think
what you're saying though.
But there's all sorts I mean, rap groups, businesses, startup, like I mean we just see it over and over. It's people trying to put themselves over and then it all just crumbles.
Yeah.
And so Mike Master, I mean, this is not to go into like way old history, but after Mike Master stopped, like A-Hat hit me up numerous times to battle, obviously, like, and then obviously,
but dude, you are a dickhead.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I was trying to put myself over, but I never did it because it wasn't Mike Masters, and I was like, Nate had something special.
Damn.
And it was just, they were offering to like pay me to battle and like, let's battle. You just battle. Cause I mean, I was the guy who just battled Cadillac Ron. So like, and then like immediately it was just like, hey, come do this. We'll do cool opportunities. And nothing against them. I just didn't want to because one, it's stressful enough, but two, it was just like Mike Masters was special. We talked about this on the other podcast we did, but like, it was just like such a community. And these were like our people, you see the same people at all the events and like, you just start to like know all these people. And, it's very cool. It's,
I want to I appreciate, you sharing that and I'm seeing it already again. These guys like, I mean, Easton Clark is one guy. I think we might be podcasting in a couple of days, but see, I can't wait to like talk to him because this guy has so much passion, and he, to your point about community, he like literally fucking texts me that he's like, I feel like I found my people, and I was like, dude. Yeah, we are your people, dude.
Yeah.
Because outside of like, I love making music and I make good music and all that. I am a battle rapper at heart. Like that's like what I fucking enjoy doing. I just enjoy it a lot. It's fucking fun.
Yeah.
I enjoy freestyling and all that shit. So like to come back and be able to have a second chance at something like this, like it's not like I'm going to do my best to make sure that we have this for a long time. At least this community. If it when I give when I'm not able to provide for the community at 100% and someone else is able to, I'm happy to fucking let the next. But I think that Mike Masters being here is just a very important piece. I don't not feel that way. I absolutely feel that way.
And it's like there's so many things, so many cool things are going to happen because you got off the couch and you brought it back,
dude.
You know, like the same way like I got off the couch to go try a rap battle.
Yeah.
Like I tell everybody, my main thing always is like, just go do it. Just go. Just like go try it. Go do like even if you don't succeed at it, you have experiences. You have it's like I went to pro wrestling school. That was hard physically, mentally. It was exhausting. I was 16, 17, 18 like but now I've like wrestled on the same card as Juventud Guerrera and Greg the Hammer Valentine, and I've had crowds like chant my name, and it's just like, and then I was not good enough to stay doing it, and I went off to college, but like forever now, I will be able to say I went to pro wrestling school, and I know how to like hit a suplex, and I know how to do all this stuff, and like, and it came back when I shot a music video with a bunch of pro wrestlers. I was like, I know what I'm doing. Let me get in the ring and throw me around. And they were like, okay, if you want.
Get the fuck.
And then we shot this video. It was just like, but it would have been so easy to not get off the couch.
Right.
It would have been so easy to go, I'll just watch wrestling.
Yeah.
I want to do it. I want to perform. I want to do, I want to do comedy. I want to do wrestling. I want to do rap, whatever. It's so easy not to do it, but like, I don't even know who I would be if I hadn't said like yes to go do these things. If I'm being honest, like
it just speaks to that what I'm just talking about. I can't wait for you to read this book.
Yeah,
man.
I can't wait to read
because
it.
Seriously, like everything you're talking about, like it goes back. I don't give a fuck if you don't do anything. It's up, dude. Honestly.
But we can be evangelists of the do something party.
For those that want to do something and feel like there's like a dam in your stream.
Yeah.
You're the only one creating that. It's a you problem, and fucking get rid of that shit.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Straight up.
Totally agree.
There's an abundance. Mm-hmm. There's an abundance of everything, man. Like
my go-to saying that I will say this till I die is that there is somebody out there stupider than you who is doing what you want to be doing. And that could be anything. That could be a chef. That could be it could be this. It could be anything. Somebody dumber than you. Like it all came because like I never knew how to do Photoshop. I always wanted to. It just seemed like too big of a learning curve. And then I met a kid who was dumb and he knew Photoshop. And I went, huh? How do you know how to do it? And I guess that means I can do it.
Hold on, I can do it.
And then I did it.
Yeah. Hold on a minute.
Hold on.
I'll buy it. Okay. Yeah, I'll buy it.
Okay, if you can do it, I can do it. And that there's somebody out there stupider than you. There's somebody out there lazier than you. There's somebody out there who wants it less than you do, who's doing what you dream of doing. And I have to talk to you about this because this is because of how much work you put into stuff. I'm always asking people like, so for me and rap, I have never once wanted to make it. I've never once wanted to live off rap. It was a hobby. I'm so into hobbies, and I think they're important, and I have a career that will pay for my hobbies.
Yeah.
And the idea of like making my hobby my job, it seems miserable. My friends who have made it to a tier where they're starting to like make enough money they can quit their day jobs and make music are so much less happy than I am, because now they're like, oh fuck, my one fun thing is now tied to my mortgage. It's now tied to paying for diapers and my daughter's food. And like, oh my God, like I have to put out a song and and if it doesn't do well, like it's not gonna, and if the people don't come to the show, for me, I go, well, all that stuff's covered. And now I go to the show, and if there's 50 people, I have a great time. If there's 2,000 people, I have a better time. And it's all just cream on top because I keep my hobbies and my business separate. But with you, I want to know like your history. Like, did you want to be, when you were talking to Pat about it, on the Pat episode, I was so interested because he was like, he was clearly, all those guys were like clearly trying to make this a career. They were touring, they were dumping their money into it, and said 12 grand on an album and buy a van and do all the steps you're supposed to do. And then when it wasn't turning into his, something that could be a full-time gig, he's like, why am I doing this? And he got out, which he should have. And, so I want to know for you, because I know you've put money into Mike Masters. Yeah. And
I'm all,
So where does this lie with you? Like, what is your goal with it? And has your goal changed through time? Is it,
Good question. The goal now is to turn this into a full-fledged business.
Okay.
So I think I will make it happen, that this will be Utah's exclusive hip-hop network. And
I like that you didn't just say battle.
No, yeah. So
Yeah,
we're gonna go into ciphers. We're gonna go into showcases.
Yes.
Production
classes.
So it's gonna be continuing to branch. So it's not gonna be strictly battles. At the core, will always be battles because that's just like.
Yeah,
that's
what drives you.
Yeah, it's just so fun. It's just so fun, and it's also just the core. Anyway, but I'm not letting that part though cloud what is going to make that possible, which is creating more connections. And this is just going to handle itself. Mm-hmm. I firmly believe that. Yeah. Because of my tenacity about it, but also my openness to say yes and my willingness to accept new opinions.
Oh yeah, totally. Your willingness to ask for things.
Dude, I'm a Google it motherfucker. So I'm open to anything. I'm not. I'm only as dumb as the next question, really, dude. Straight up, honestly. So, but that's what I think is going to. I want. That's why I think that this is going to succeed. Mm-hmm. Right now, I'm still in the red on it. I mean, admittedly, I mean, all good though. I'm not even. To your point, like I have done okay for myself on the other end of things to be able to supply what is currently a hobby, but what I envision it being something different.
Turn into I
think it's gonna be really cool.
Like the B-Boy Fed, like the Herc and like Josh and those guys. Yep. Watching him do it like pokes holes in my theory that you should keep your hobbies separate, because he's running the Herc and it's a nonprofit and he's got the grants coming in and he's built a community and it's incredible. Like Ali from the Fed just went and like battled in Red Bull's like global competition. He's now one of the best, dancers in the world. Wow. It's proven now. He's so incredible. And it was just like, I've watched him go from this is something that I'm doing and that probably in the red for, and then I get bigger and cooler and better. Now they're renting Rose Wagner Theater to do an annual show. And now they're, like when they got their building and it's a full-fledged dance studio, they're teaching DJ classes, they're teaching graffiti. Like, it's insane. Yeah. I was like, oh, he did it. Like, he did it. And the reason he did it is it wasn't like I'm setting out to make Josh the biggest name in hip hop. Yeah. Same with you. Just hearing you say like my goal is to build the community, I was like, then that's how you're going to be successful. Yeah. It's like, it's not to see your face on a billboard. It's not for you to, have a chart ranking song. It's just like, I can support that 1,000%.
Dude, I'm having a kid in May, and so like I'm thinking about.
I did not know that.
Oh wow!
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, we're
awesome.
having a boy, and I think about. I already thought about the community so much, about like involvement and all that, and so now it's even more so. Like I would love to get to those points, and so you bringing up the B-Boy Fed is a fucking incredible example of. I know Josh well, and so like it's I've been watching him, and so it's it's very difficult being an entrepreneur to to that end though, because there is a lot of work, but man, it's a fucking labor of love, dude. I think it's fucking fun, you know?
Yeah.
Like even doing this is fun. It takes some time. But it is going to be fun. Like even I feel strongly about this podcast and the new direction that I'm going in with it. Like, this is all going to be good. It's all going to be good. I think I'm laying groundwork just to be like, to be a valuable resource for not just our scene, but like eventually for the region and like to be able to, do the stuff that I wanted to be a part of when I was coming up. So get onto a show to be able to cipher on.
Yes.
I want to be able to provide these spaces for folks to be able to promote themselves and really enhance and see their dreams come to fruition.
You will have so many cool experiences through this, but what's awesome is you are also providing the grounds for other people to do it. Like me battling Cadillac is a perfect example. If you take me back to when I'm at Barbary Coast, and you go, oh yeah, in a couple years you're gonna battle at Cadillac, Ron. I'll be like, what?
No, I won't.
Or like I'm doing a show at some house party, one of my first shows ever, and they're like, oh yeah, in 5 years you're gonna be on NBC. Or in 5 years, you're going to be opening for Snoop Dogg. Like,
what the
I
fuck?
never would have believed it ever.
Right.
And it's you do it, and you bring people along with you.
Yep.
And you support people who want to do it.
Yep.
And you have fun. Like even if stuff goes nowhere, you had fun and you had experiences that you wouldn't have if you just. Anyone can go to work and come home and just save their money and sit on the couch and just wait to die.
Yep.
That
does sound kind of cool.
Yeah, some days you're like, that's what I'm doing this weekend.
Yeah, no.
But I get the itch, like, when Mike Masters came back, I was like, oh, that's going to happen. And I knew a lot of guys that we were battling with back then probably wouldn't come back because it's so stressful. People move on or people move, But I was like, oh, I'm going to battle for sure. My wife was like, are you going to do another battle, you think? Like, they're so stressful.
100%.
And I was like, absolutely.
For sure.
Of course. Like,
yeah.
I already know who I want to battle. Like, let's do this.
Yeah.
Well, dude, thank you so much for coming.
This was awesome. I have no idea if we talked for 10 minutes or 2 hours. I have no idea. This was really fun.
Thank you for that. I certainly appreciate it.
Yeah.
This isn't a gift. Well, I guess it is because you got a fucking the 801 ticket, the special. You didn't make it out to the event.
So
I know,
sick.
Dude.
I thought about the guys you flew in. I was like, I'm not giving these guys RSV. Like I'm so sick.
Oh, you should have met Marv 1.
But dude, all people, when I saw that's who you were bringing out, I was like, I love that guy.
Yeah, he was the shit, dude.
Man, he is so funny. And
he was the shit.
Legendary battles, like, it's cool. There are people who know him from the grind time era, and there are people who know him from the URL era. Like, he's
and the
just
WRC area.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway,
man,
but it was a great time. But in March,
yes,
and we'll talk more.
Let's
but
talk.
I'm telling you, there is one battle that's going to happen that is incredible. And between you, me, and the wall, I'm not fucking telling you right now, but
for sure,
it's going to be great. Having said that, for real, thank you so much for coming on. I'm fucking humbled, dude. And we're good. We're definitely going to do a fucking part 2 because we got to talk about fucking wrestling and all that shit. Yeah. Like, this is the best part about this podcast for these pieces that when I'm talking to like a friend of mine, and also, honestly, in the last one with fucking Mousley, we were able to bond more, but like, there's so much more to extrapolate. And so, we'll be talking further in the end. So, let everyone know just a quick,
Rhymetime, RHY, Rhymetime, House of Lewis. I got this made, this House of Lewis shirt.
Beautiful.
So Apt, Chance Lewis, DJ Scratchmo, Donnie Benelli, Rhymetime, that's us. Rhymetimerappr.bandcamp. I'm on all the streaming stuff, and House of Lewis is Donnie Benelli and Chance just dropped an album.
Thank you for saying that.
It's incredible. I was so happy to finally see it come out, and I don't know when this drops, but we are opening
next Friday.
Oh, good. Yeah, we're opening up for Open Mike Eagle at Quarters, the Barcade, on January 11th. That's our next show, which I'm very excited for. And it's like video games, rap. It's like everything.
And that bar used to be Club Manhattan. And I battled Bloswick there.
Wow.
Yeah, in a freestyle, and I fucking won.
Good.
Yeah. I took out several people in that fucking downstairs.
So excited.
Yeah. Good for you.
Yeah. So House of Lewis, we're doing fun stuff all the time. We did a Christmas show in Provo.
Fucking A, man.
Because we
Christmas
say
show
yes
in
to
Provo,
things.
dude. What the fuck? That is not how we're ending this fucking thing, dude. No, just joking. Short Story Bingo, episode 6, our stories. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
And, man, we're fucking out. That's it.
Dun, dun, dun. Spare fingers. Cheers.